I did a really bad job of doing Blu Ray haul videos, so I'm trying to do a better job this year. Picked up a number of movies. Let's get started with it. First up, we've got Starship Troopers 20th Anniversary 4K. If you watched the last Blu Ray haul video that I did, I talked about purchasing a number of the other Starship Troopers movies. I actually purchased this at the same time as the direct-to-video sequels, but for whatever reason, the original, by far the most popular of the bunch, came 2-3 weeks after the other movies arrived. But if you didn't hear the backstory on all of that, this new game came out called Helldivers 2 that's essentially Starship Troopers with a little bit of Terminator sprinkled in there. And so I've been playing that game with my son and with Cody Leach online a little bit. And so it's got me in a Starship Troopers mood. So I decided to purchase all the Starship Troopers movies, as I realized I didn't even own the original one. And so went out, purchased it, and, got one. There's a couple deleted scenes. Not a particularly fantastic set of special features on here, but a very fun Paul Verhoeven, wacky, wild movie about spreading democracy, which my son and I are all about in Helldivers. Next up, Anyone But You, starring my close personal friends. And I'll say both of them now, because I've hung out with Sydney Sweeney, as I will claim in this video. But starring my two close personal friends, neither of which I've ever spoken to, Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney. If you are unaware, my close personal friend Glenn Powell and I both went to the same high school, and my close personal friend Sydney Sweeney introduced her film and did a Q&A for her film Immaculate at South by Southwest, and I was in the front row. So by my definition of friendship, we are best friends now because we watched her movie Immaculate together. Anyway, this is a movie I was excited for because we don't get a lot of rom-coms these days, and because it stars Glenn Powell, I was rooting for it. Went to go see it with my wife, had a good time with it, and then as soon as it dropped on streaming, my wife was like, can I buy this on stream? I was like, no, wait for the Blu-ray. And then last week I was able to go, hey, you know what I have now? Ta-da! Anyone But You, and she was very happy to see that, but still, she hasn't watched it, even though she's been waiting for it for a month, so that tells you how busy we have been recently watching all sorts of movies. But anyway, so a raunchy rom-com based off Much Ado About Nothing, and a film that opened to dismal numbers and then had fantastic legs, becoming the most successful R-rated comedy and rom-com of the post-COVID era, even beating out like Sandra Bullock and Julia Roberts. So this is the year for these two. These are our breakout stars of the year. I've decided it, and I've made it my personal goal to interview Mr. Powell when Hitman and or Twisters comes out this summer, and I'm trying to put some things in place, take steps on a daily basis to manifest that dream. Happy Gilmore. This was a really nice timing. I had ordered this because I realized we didn't own it, and it's my wife's, I believe, her favorite Adam Sandler film because her brothers used to watch it, or brother, she doesn't have brothers, she has one brother. Her brother and dad used to watch it, and she'd watch it with them, and her favorite movie line of all time is the one about what Shooter McGavin eats for breakfast. She loves that line. So we didn't have it, so I ordered it, and while I'm waiting for it to be mailed to my house, it's announced that they're doing Happy Gilmore 2, and the script is written, and it's coming in the near future. So very nice timing, but we happened to rewatch it a couple nights ago, and it's still a really fun, silly Adam Sandler comedy. Then we have one of the more controversial 4Ks of the month, Aliens. If you are in the realm of buying physical media, you almost certainly know about the James Cameron 4K controversy recently, where 3 of his movies came out on 4K. 2 of them didn't get a proper Blu-ray release. There were some HD versions of True Lies on streaming, but it never got a Blu-ray. And The Abyss was a movie that was actively difficult to buy. To do my James Cameron ranking for Avatar 2, I had to buy a French DVD of the movie. Like my copy of The Abyss has French on the front and the back of it. That's how difficult the movie was to get. And so they finally released 4Ks for those movies, as well as Blu-rays that came in there as well, and then Aliens along with it, which is very exciting. It's like, in the physical media community, the fact that there were James Cameron movies not on Blu-ray was just wild, because these are like hit films. These aren't like obscure things. These are hit movies. One of them stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they just never got a Blu-ray. We finally got them. But James Cameron loves his tech. James Cameron loves the most advanced software out there. And so he did all of this cleanup on it. And the best I can tell from other people, Aliens is the one that was hurt the least. True Lies is the one that they tinkered with the worst. But they did all of this, like, I don't know, film grain scrubbing to like just clean up the images. And in the process, they're doing all this AI cleanup. And in particular on True Lies, there's all these shots where it has that AI art look to it, that rubbery look to it, that it's so detailed, but also looks so artificial. There's something that's just off about it. And that's what these frames from the movie look like. So I didn't buy that one. I only got Aliens because we got our Alien Romulus trailer. I was like, oh, well, perfect. I need to watch that anyway. Let's pick that one up, and I'm sure I'll buy the other ones soon enough anyway. But picked this one up to start my collection with one of my favorite films of all time, now in 4K. Now, Aliens did get a Blu-ray release, and so that's kind of the big question of like, all right, is the 4K with all of the AI processing and grain removal, is it better because it's 4K, or because they tinkered with it so much, does it hurt the actual quality and you should just stick with your Blu-ray? I'm blind anyway. I can barely tell, so I'm not the right person to ask that, but that is a question other people have been pondering. Then we have In Bruges. I hope I pronounced that properly. I've never seen this movie, so it's from the director of Inisherin, what was it? Banshees of Inisherin, that I saw at Fantastic Fest. And coming out of the theater, I remember Cody Leach, Chris Stuckman of all people were like, oh, you haven't seen Bruges? You've got to see In Bruges. So I've never seen it, and so it's been on my radar for a while. So finally, for something coming up in the near future, actually picked this one up to finally watch it. But I know almost nothing about it except everyone says it's really funny, really good, and they think that I will really like it. But beyond that, I'm just telling you what other people think I will think about a movie I haven't seen. Final one on here. Picked up the classic Chase Vacation Collection. Now, there actually are two more vacation movies. One of them is a spin-off about Eddie, like going to an island for Christmas or something like that I've never seen. And then the soft reboot with Rusty going on a vacation, and it's in canon. It has Chevy Chase. It has Beverly D'Angelo in it. Also has Chris Hemsworth in it. But that one is not in our collection. That movie's actually from the guys that did Game Night and Dungeons and Dragons. So they started off with like a remake that people just pretty largely just rejected. As like, why did we do this? We don't need this. And they went on to do movies that people really are movies that seem to have a solid reception. Anyway, it occurred to me I didn't own any of the vacation movies except Christmas Vacation, and so bought the whole collection. And I watched Christmas Vacation most Decembers. I watched it actually with my kids just a few months back. But in my free time while editing videos, I've been watching through the vacation movies, even Vegas Vacation, that I don't think I have watched since I saw it in the theater back in, 1997. And it's fascinating to just watch all the different people that played his kids in the movies, because they recast the kids in every single movie. In European Vacation, it's actually Blake Lively's half-brother plays Rusty in European Vacation. I had no idea. I was just watching the credits, and then the name Lively came up. And pretty much anytime you see the name Lively in a movie, it is all part of the same family. There is a bit of an age gap where there's the 80s ones with Robin and the guy from European, and then Blake pops into the picture 20 years later on the TV show that she was on. But it's all the same family. And so if you see Lively, they're probably related. So I saw the name Lively. It's like, oh, I wonder, is that going to be Robin Lively's brother and Blake's half-brother? Yes, it was. If you don't know, Robin Lively is the non-love interest in Karate Kid 3, and once again, Blake Lively's half-sister. So anyway, those are the ones that I picked up this month. I'm trying to do a much better job of actually picking up some physical media. People have been asking me, when do I think I'm going to do my updated Blu-ray collection video? That there will be one of those this year. I didn't do one last year because it's just such an ordeal by now. I mean, like, you can see this. The collection literally stretches all the way from the door to the corner of this room over here, and there's the farthest cubbies over there are video games. But I think once I put on all of my recent acquisitions and once I've received in fan mail in here, I think it's going to pack the whole thing out. And I'm going to be like, where am I even going to put my Blu-rays in the future? We're almost to that point in time. But so I delayed doing one last year because it was just so much work. But we got to do one this year. I almost did in January. I almost did in February. It didn't happen. And right now things have been a little bit slower. So I'm waiting for the channel to pick up a little bit more when there's just kind of more regular traffic. So a video like that, make sure it gets as much many eyes on it as it should, given the amount of work I'm going to put into it. But it is coming probably in May. I would guess late May, but maybe sooner. We'll see what happens. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching, and keep talking movies and TV too much. Bye-bye.